Monday, Monday, Monday.
All right, let me get a seltzer and then I'm ready to rock.
All right.
And
Well,
if you want to get wild, you can even play the song and see if I make it back in time.
ooh, I like that. There's high
It's a
stakes there.
race.
Let's
All right,
do it.
I'm going to leave as soon as you press it.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it all queued up, ready to go. And 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Off the Cut, a podcast where we talk about building, making,
and answering all of your questions.
I'm Eric from Spenceley Design Co.
And I'm Zach from Zach Builds. If you have a question that you would like us to answer on air, you can send it to offthecutpodcast@gmail.com.
You can find both of us on YouTube, Instagram, and unfortunately, because we have to keep up with the kids, you can find us on TikTok too.
All right, now let's get into the show.
Smoother than the Green Suiters podcast. You just made it to episode 82 of Off the Cut podcast. We're up in Toronto. Today is known as Tuesday, September 18th, 2023. But here in Ohio, today is respectfully dedicated to the food of the day. You guys are going to like this one. It's a throwback.
Oh,
It's going to remind you of a younger day.
okay.
Rice Krispie Treats.
Ooh.
Oh, that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a bad memory. I don't like. No, wait. Okay, hold on.
What?
Sorry. No. Sorry, I'm confused. Let me walk that back. I was thinking about what are those circular things called that are made out of rice and taste horrible? Like they
Rice
taste like
cakes.
Rice
rice
cake, yeah.
cakes.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rice Krispie treats. I'm all about those.
Do you say it tastes like cardboard or it tastes like carpet?
I mean, yeah, it could be either or, really. Depends what the seasoning is.
Oh, I got the black lung.
Uh-oh.
Working too
Cutting
much in the
some
coal
cutting
lines.
some wood?
Yeah, I've actually been woodworking recently.
Wow, crazy.
I know. Wild, huh?
I know. I did like the smallest smidgen of woodworking on Friday, but other than that, I've just
Okay.
been 3D printing and soldering and stuff.
Man,
Yeah,
it's like a real woodworker over here.
I know, crazy.
Everyone is now in the presence of not real woodworkers, but people who play them online.
On the
Hey, I
internet.
used a Dowling jig for the first time today.
Oh, how'd that go?
Ooh, which one did you pick up?
It was just one of those. It's just some like metal one I got off Amazon. It clamps onto wood, finds the middle, drill out for the dowels and everything. It made me want a domino. Not gonna lie. It was a pain in the ass.
Is that the universal experience of using a joweling jig? It's like as soon as you use one, you're just like, oh, I wish I had a domino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I know Scott Walsh. He's got, it's probably like $500-600. It's like the Dowel Mate or something like that. It's like some
Look this up.
high Dowel Max, maybe. It's
sounds
like
about
some
right.
high-end like Canadian one
Oh yeah.
that's got 1,000 different like add-ons and stuff like that. He says it works really, really well.
It looks fancy. I'll give him that.
So, Derek, how much is that thing? You got it pulled up.
250 Canadian dollars.
Yuck. That's a lot.
It
That's
is
a lot for a Dowling jig.
It is. You gotta
235
understand.
US.
235. Oh, because it's a Canadian company. The exchange rate's not so bad.
Yeah.
Suckers. Now this is the one occasion where the Canadians win.
Yeah. We're probably paying more to send it over the border to get it here.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, Dowling jigs, just like the Green Suiters podcast, they suck. I mean, it's simple as that. Like, I have a $10 Dowling jig, and I've used it in tons of projects before I got a domino. In fact, now when I use my domino, a lot of times I'll still do a dowel joint like in the project just to like show that you can do it.
Yeah.
But like Derek, like you said, it is the biggest pain in the ass in the world.
Yeah, it doesn't clear. Like whenever you drill through the hole, it doesn't clear out that debris. So you just gotta and then the bit gets stuck in there. So you gotta back it out, and then you gotta clear it out, and then you gotta continue on. That's my biggest gripe with it.
My biggest complaint is I don't have that like metal clampy doodle one like you did, right?
Yeah.
I got the like Rockler one. Ooh, that's a crispy one. What you got over there? Is that lemon?
No, pineapple.
Pineapple. I got a blackberry
Very
tonight.
nice.
Yeah. What was I say? I've got the Rockler Dowling jig. That's like basically it's like a metal block that has
Oh
two
yeah.
holes in it, and then like a piece of like Lexan plexiglass on the top of it. Here's my complaint. Well, Pro, unbelievably cheap. I think it's like 10, maybe $15.
I don't know if they sell that one anymore. Oh yeah. Okay, I just found it. So, oh wait, no, hold on. Every time I pull it up, they're
Redirect you to
now
a new one.
yeah.
It's like
There's
blue
a
plastic.
yeah. It looks like a Craig product.
Right, right. I know there's one made by Miles Craft that you can find on Amazon. It's effectively the exact same thing. But Pro, it is unbelievably cheap, super low barrier of entry, can get people into making stronger joinery for really cheap. That's awesome. I love that. It comes with the drill bit, it comes with the stop collar, and it comes with like the jig itself. That is a bargain for what you're paying.
Yeah. How much was it? Like $20?
I think it was 10 when I bought it.
Whew.
Like that, you know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
not bad.
It's not bad
So
at all.
here's where it falls short.
Okay.
Is on the little clear piece of plastic where it has like, oh, this is going to be the center of the hole that you're drilling for the dowel. They're not accurate.
Okay.
So like if you would make like your witness mark and be like, oh, I want these two pieces of wood to join here, and you make a line across, and then you put the jig on the line, you're
Yeah.
going to be off like 1/8 of an inch.
That much?
Oh, it's bad.
Wow.
Is real bad.
Is there any way you could adjust it? Like, it's tough to tell because I can't find the actual product listing anymore. It seems like there's a couple little set screws on the top of it. Is there any play in the plastic? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll see if I can send you a photo of it.
I had a plastic one, and you see when you're looking at a lot of these Dowling jigs, they have a metal sleeve. Even if they're made out of plastic, the part where the bit goes in, they have a metal sleeve to protect it. I have a Dowling jig that is so cheap, the entire thing is made out of plastic, and like after using it 2 or 3 times, it was just unusable because every time you use it, the drill bit bites into the plastic and widens the hole ever so slightly.
All right, if you want to check out the one I'm talking about, I just I put a link in the live stream chat thing. So I guess it's $20 now, and it's literally the exact same thing I have. So like I said, it's a metal block. It comes with like basically a piece of Lexan plastic on top, and then you get a drill bit and a stop collar, and it's $21.39.
Wow.
So not only do the witness marks for like the center of the line they're useless. They're not accurate because they're not in the center. But the Lexan plastic bends. So if you don't hold your drill perfectly in line, your drill bit is now going to go in at a slight angle, and so your joinery will never go together.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a challenge. And like,
how does something like that make it out of the factory though?
Because it's cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Like, I mean, look how much money they have into that. But if you look at the reviews, like, I mean, there are no reviews on this one, but like when I bought mine, people were like, yeah, great bang for the buck, works well, just have to be careful. Like,
yeah, I guess it's one of those things you learn to compensate for.
Right. And then,
do you have any other janky tools in the shop that you like you know it's not accurate, but you're like, okay, if I cheat it to the left 1/8 of an inch, then it's good.
Ooh, I can't think of anything like that, but I can think of an absolute crap tool that I bought a bunch of at the beginning, and it's the Rockler black plastic 90-degree clamp squares. They are nowhere near 90 degrees.
You know what, 90 degrees seems to be incredibly hard for a lot of companies to do. Have you ever checked a set of squares that you own, even metal ones, like machined aluminum squares? a lot of the time they're out by as much as a degree.
Yeah.
I could see
It
that.
happens all the time. Yeah, I would never trust like what that's showing in the picture there. I would never trust that to be square.
Yeah.
Not just because it probably didn't come square from the factory, but also it's plastic. Like there's no way that's going to be rigid enough to support a piece of plywood.
Oh no, it's very rigid. The way it has
Yeah?
like its structural little gussets and whatnot in there, they're super rigid, just super inaccurate.
So you're telling me if you grab that thing and you tried to twist it, it would be solid?
Oh yeah, it's rock solid. So what are those called, Derek? The Rockler
Universal fence clamps.
No. So the fence clamps are the little aluminum clampy parts. I'm talking about that plastic, but it's like something square. It's like a Rockler plastic
Clamp it,
right
square
angle
tool,
Yeah,
universal
the clamp
90
it.
degree.
Clamp it
Clamp it.
square or something
Clamp
like that. They suck. Don't waste your money on those. They're awful.
Save your money, people.
Yeah. That's the first thing that comes to mind of like a janky tool. Do you have something in mind you can think of?
Well, just for the longest time, and it's not even a janky tool. It's my saw stop. It was just let's say a 30-second out of alignment, but it was actually kind of nice. You know, I have this problem with tools all the time where it's like, do you set the indicator right on your mark? Or do you set it just next to your mark? Like imagine the camber adjustment on a table saw. Do you set it so the little arrow is pointing at 45 degrees or just next to 45 degrees so that it's
That line's
basically
kinda
like
fat.
are you taking the line or are you
Exactly.
leaving the line?
Yes, 100%. So for the longest time, I had my saw stop table saw set up such that I would leave the line with the indicator on the tool, if that makes sense.
I would have come and been like, "Oh, Zach, your indicator's off." I would split the line.
Split the line, yeah. But the thing with splitting the line is that are you perfectly centered over it? Like sometimes those very precise measurements matter.
Yeah.
I do
there
have it now. Now it's properly calibrated, so it is splitting the line. But I might even just go back to taking the line or leaving the line.
Are there any table saws that have like a positive stop for common degrees, like 45, 90, and all that?
Not that I've seen.
Mine does, but I don't
It's
use it. Yeah.
It has like a positive like notches, like the same way a miter saw would.
No,
Yeah.
not notches, but it has like you can use like set screws. Like even my complete, I'll take the explicit. My complete piece of shit rigid saw, my $200 one had like a set screw thing, and my second rigid one. I shouldn't be using the R word on here.
Had a set screw in order to stop it in a certain place, or like
Yeah.
The miter or the blade?
The blade angle. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to make a bevel cut,
yeah.
is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that set screw would allow you to stop it at different points.
It would
Like,
only
could
allow
you
you to stop it at 90 and 45.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
gotcha.
basically
That'd
like
be handy.
maxed out how much it would bevel or whatever.
And would that adjustment let you go to like 45.1 degrees or 45 or 44.9?
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
wanted to
okay.
adjust it that way, you could. But here's the problem: is the machine starts rattling or whatnot, and then that set screw slightly changes,
Yeah.
or you constantly bang up your bevel against
Some
that,
dust
and then
gets
it's no
matted
longer
on it.
accurate. Yeah. So I don't even trust it. I actually back both of them off so it'll let me go beyond the range, and I dial it in myself.
Do you have one of those little digital cube things that you put on the
No.
no?
I hate
you
those
Little red
things.
square.
Just
Yeah,
use a little red square?
I just use a square. I don't trust the digital thing. I'm really
Yeah.
anal with my tools when it comes to like getting them dialed in and set up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd spend days setting up a table saw if I had the time.
That's the thing. I never have the time. Like
I know.
I've been threatening for years now that I'm going to spend a day just dialing in all the tools in the shop.
You won't.
And
Yeah.
it's been years. If it hasn't happened, it's not going to happen.
I'm
like
anal, but
posting
I'm
on Twitter.
impatient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The best time to do that is like it's like 4 or 5 o'clock. on a Friday, and you're like, all right, you know, you and Sophie or me and Miranda we're gonna have a nice evening, and then they hit you with, hey, so and so just came into town. I think I'm gonna go grab dinner and hang out with them. And I'm like, yeah, of course. You haven't seen them forever. Like, go for it. And now I'm sitting at home thinking, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah,
And
true.
I'm just like, I'm going to get a beer or two and go through and clean and dial in my tools. That is the best time to do it, but it doesn't happen often.
Did I tell you that recently I took a leaf blower to my shop? I just opened up every single door and window, and I'm kind of lucky in that I have a big opening at either end of the shop.
Yeah.
And I just took the leaf blower and I just blew all the dust right out of there. All the cupboards and stuff like that. It was very satisfying to do. And it was a situation just like what you're describing. It's like I had something to do, plans got canceled. I was like, I got this leaf blower. I got a couple hours to kill. Let's have some fun.
Dude, the cordless, like, DeWalt leaf blowers or whatever.
Insanely powerful.
God, yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Those are the best things in the world.
Yeah.
You don't even need to blow anything. You just, you're like walking through your shop and like you look up in the corner and you're like, I could do some leaf blowing right now.
It's also very satisfying to use for actual leaf blowing.
They got a lot of juice to them.
I just use it for, like, my backyard, there's a bunch of trees. So leaves fall, pine cones fall, little pine needles fall.
Yes, they do.
I go out there, 5 minutes with a leaf blower. The place looks like $1 million. It's brand new. All the pavers are like perfectly clean. I get all the twigs, all the little pieces of soil back in the planter beds. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
How do you feel about the reverse of a leaf blower? Have you seen those like leaf vacuum things? They're like these big bags and they suck them all up. Yeah.
You're
Really?
describing a shock vac, right?
No. It's like literally a reverse leaf blower.
Leaf
My
vacuum.
grandparents had one, but the problem is if the leaves had any resemblance of moisture on them, that son of a gun would just clog up like nobody's business.
I could see that. 100%. The best part about a leaf blower is that you're making it somebody else's problem. You take all your leaves and you just blow them onto your neighbor's property. You're like, F you. Not my problem anymore.
Oh, Ryobi makes one.
Ryobi makes one, yeah.
What's the price point on that?
Let's see here. Well, Amazon's got it for $139.
That's a lot of plastic and electronics for $139. That thing is massive looking.
You could make an entire YouTube channel about like nonsensical home inventions and do they work?
I mean, that thing is kind of hilarious. It looks like something out of a cartoon.
Looks like Ghostbusters vacuum.
It's got a little wheel to support the sucker at the front. Like,
well, imagine all those leaves add up and get heavy.
Yeah.
True.
But you see the problem with it, if it gets wet, that thing is done. It's just going to get clogged up.
Can you imagine what the inside of that bag smells like? You do it in the fall, you're sucking up all these wet leaves, and then you come back to it in the springtime and you use it for the first time. You're like, oh my God, what died in here?
Yeah, it's like listening to the Green Suiters podcast. That should be their new tagline. Green Suiters podcast. It's like smelling wet leaves or so. I don't know. It didn't flow well.
It's mulching it up.
Oh, it mulches?
It mulches as it goes, so it says it replaces up to 8 bags with their 1 bag.
Oh, stop. This is
So
black
it's gonna
magic.
Be compact whenever you get done. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah, no kidding. Is that supported by... It looks like it's just a bag hanging off the bottom of the tool, but it's massive. So for people who are just listening, this bag is got to be 3-4 gallons at least. And it's just a canvas.
Boy.
It's just a canvas bag hanging from the bottom of a cordless tool. I don't understand.
Yeah. It's just dragging along.
Just dragging along, yeah. I give that thing. There's no way that thing lasts more than 3 years. You get 12 uses out of that, and it's done.
My buddy's got a Ryobi weed whacker, and it's the biggest POS in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's trash.
I had 3.
3. Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a Craftsman one. I mean, it does an alright job for me. I don't have much weeds to whack, but the ones that it does, it works fine.
And I'm not just going out there trashing Ryobi tools. I got some Ryobi stuff that I love.
Yeah. Ryobi's hit and
Glue
miss.
gun, man.
That hot glue gun, yeah.
Hot glue gun works like
Somebody
a charm.
just came out with a new hot glue gun. I think it was the one that shall not be named.
Oh.
Ooh.
Somebody
The
told
R
me
word?
Yeah.
that
no.
there's a company out there that makes a cordless hot glue gun that takes DeWalt batteries, but is not made by DeWalt.
I have that.
You do? Is that any good?
Really?
Yeah. I've only used it a handful of times, but it's pretty decent.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
they
right.
got one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the R word made
Oh, the R word.
It's the exact same damn thing. They just made it orange. It's
Oh,
no
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's made by
Well, they
TTI,
got-
so what do you expect?
They got interchangeable tips on this one.
Ooh, interchangeable tips. Jared, can you pull up a Ryobi one side to side so we can just see if they use the same injection molded plastic? That's the mini one.
That's the new one. I don't know where. Let me see here.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, Eric, have you used any of these cordless heat guns yet?
No, but I want one because my corded heat gun has like a 3-inch cord on it.
Yeah. Yeah, mine too. It's so annoying.
It's awful. I plug it in right below my workbench, and I can't reach the opposite side
Yeah.
of my workbench.
And a heat gun, you want to wave around a lot while
Yeah.
you're using it.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
have
so-
the DeWalt cordless, and that thing blows through batteries so fast.
Well, that was
I'm
going to be my
sure.
question.
Yeah.
How long do you get runtime? Is it like a minute?
If I put one of the small, 2 amp batteries, the standard
But
ones,
it's a minute.
I get about 5, maybe 10 minutes.
That's
on
actually
hot.
kind of
bad though.
That's more than I would have expected, honestly. But yeah. I mean, it's literally just a resistor and a fan.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just heating up a coil and blowing air against it. So.
Yeah.
But if I put one of those bigger batteries on there, it's just so heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get one of those. What's the biggest DeWalt battery they make? They make like a 12 amp hour, 60 volt, I think.
Yeah.
You're an
That's
asshole if you're
ridiculous.
carrying around a 12 amp hour battery. Like, you've seen these
I
like
have one.
impact guns.
Do you? That's so funny.
Yeah, but what the hell do you use that for?
It came with some tool. I can't remember what tool it was it came with.
Don't
got
even tell me like, oh yeah, I put it on my impact driver. No, you don't. It'd be like carrying a 40-pound impact driver around.
I want to get like the smallest impact driver, maybe even a 12 volt impact driver, and then put one of those big 60 volt batteries on it because I think they make one that's cross compatible. Just to make you mad.
love the little itty bitty Milwaukee 12 volt impact driver. It's so tiny. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to get
I've
that
got
new
a-
Festool one, but I haven't picked that up yet.
How much is that? 800
Couldn't tell
bucks?
you. I don't know.
Um,
Like a C18 something. I don't know.
the DeWalt actually makes a 15 amp hour 60 volt battery.
That's disgusting. How much is that?
Uh,
It's got to be like $500.
500 bucks Canadian, so probably
Yeah.
400 American. Crazy.
The tool batteries are the biggest scam in the world.
So
Yeah. The batteries are just kind of, they just cost what they cost. I think we've talked about this before on the show, but
Yeah.
like a rigid battery is very similarly priced to a DeWalt battery is very similarly priced to a Milwaukee battery. And,
Yeah.
Even to a large degree, like a Festool battery, because it's a commodity product. The cells, they all use the same cells inside of them, and the cells just cost what they cost. I've bought some for projects. I think, what are they called? 18650 cells, like $20 each.
Yeah.
So in a battery, in a small battery, there's probably 5 of them. Let me do the math on that. That might not be correct, but
Would you say 5 by 12? That's 60.
how
much do they cost?
No, 18650 cell is not. Hold on, let me look this up. I might just be talking crap, but I don't think an 18650 is 20 volts. I think I think you have to run them in series.
Oh, so you need what? Like, I forget that math. What, like 25 of them, 30 of them?
Let's see. Hold on. So, yeah, they're 4.2 volts each. Or 3.6 is the nominal, 4.2 is... So you probably have 5 of them. And then in your basic battery, and then anything beyond that, you're then probably running them in parallel. You're probably running like
series in parallel together, like groups of them.
Exactly. You would have like 5, and then another group of 5, and then another group of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But
But
the
like,
point is,
so let's just say you're gonna make a Zach Builds tool battery. How much would this cost you just for the cells alone?
probably $100 for like a basic.
For like a 2 amp hour battery or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense if they're selling like, you know, two 2 amp hour batteries for 120, $150. Like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking online. I'm seeing some sells for like $10. It really depends if you're going to get a quality like Panasonic cell or some random no-name brand.
Like a Alibaba brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember buying some and they were surprisingly expensive. Yeah, like once you start getting into the Panasonics, they're like $11, $12, $15. So depends there's different capacities too, like different milliamp ratings on each one. Yeah, but so they just kind of cost what they cost, and that's why you see such price uniformity across all the brands.
You know, as we were talking about this, this is a good video idea for you, dude. Try to make a tool battery.
Yeah.
And start it out with like, you know, something. Here's the story arc, right? Cordless tool batteries are an absolute scam. So I'm going to show you how to make your own for cheaper. And then like, as you know, you're like, hey, I did this. I 3D printed like the case, the connections, like, you know, this is the circuit board. Like, this seems like something you would do. Yeah, and then at the end, you do a cost breakdown and you're like, I should have just bought one at the store. and then it like ends with you just running into Home Depot, grabbing a stack of batteries and just leaving.
I think, yeah, maybe for the high-end ones, it might make sense, but certainly not for the low-end ones, and especially not if they're on sale.
Oh, hell no. And this is the time in the US, it's Labor Day, which is like a big like tool. We have like Father's Day, Black Friday, and Labor Day are like our big tool sales around here. So yeah, this right now is where they're like, oh, you know, buy a combo kit and you get like 3 free tools and some batteries or whatever, like with it. This is the time, if you're going to buy tools, this is the time to do it. Do you have those in Canada? Do you have those like hot sale days?
You know, when I was growing up, we did not have Black Friday, but as time has gone on, no, we don't have Black Sunday.
No, Boxing Day.
Oh, Boxing Day. Yeah, we do
Black
have Boxing
Sunday.
I thought you were just being a smart ass for a second.
No, that just sounds like a bad, scary movie. like a C-rate scary movie. Anyway.
So we used to not have it, but now as the internet has become more and more popular, and there's like more, as I think Canadians are exposed to more American culture, more and more Canadian brands have started doing Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
So probably like 50% of major retailers here will do a Black Friday sale now. But 10 years ago, it was like basically non-existent.
Right. That makes sense.
But yeah, we do also have Boxing Day, which is pretty sweet. I mean, it used to be. I don't know if it is now. But
Didn't Boxing Day start as like a charitable thing?
The story my mom told me when I was growing up was that it was it was like when like the Help would be able to celebrate Christmas or something like that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like the day after was their celebration. And for a long time, it was illegal to open your store on Boxing Day. Oh. And Boxing Day sales actually started as an act of defiance by retailers against the government. They're like, screw you, we're going to open no matter what you tell us, and we're going to have this crazy sale at the same time to bring people out.
How do you know this isn't a conspiracy, that the government was trying to shut them down, and then they're like, I know that's what people do. They're deviant. They defy us. Well, actually, we want them to be open on this day, so we're going to tell them they can't be open on this day.
Yeah, maybe. I think one of Toronto's mayors, I want to look this up so that I'm not just talking crap here, but one of Toronto's mayors used to have a very big furniture store.
Okay.
And he started the trend of opening on Boxing Day and having a big sale. So when he was a business owner, he defied the government, and then he became the thing that he once fought. How's that for a story arc for you?
This sounds like a Batman sequel.
Yeah.
I became the people I used to hunt.
The Bad Boy Furniture Chain.
Yeah, Mel Lastman, the bad boy furniture chain. Look at him. You can tell from his photo. He's a bad boy.
Kind of looks like Bob Barker from Price is Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's a big furniture store in the U.S. like kind of like big furniture selling chain.
I think it's regional. I guess maybe like Ashley or Bassett or something like that.
Yeah, Ashley Furniture probably. I mean, there's like Big Sandy Superstore and stuff. I know all of them because that's like most of the clients that we deal with at my day job is like furniture and appliances and stuff. There's so many. I mean, thousands.
You don't have any nationwide chains though, huh?
Like Williams Sonoma.
Yeah. Okay.
Ashley Furniture, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it just kind of depends how much money you want to spend on stuff, but you know,
Right.
it is what it is.
If you're willing to wait a year, you can buy it at one of the local places for half the prices.
Yeah.
Getting it at Ashley or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Interesting.
We had a question. I think this is a good question that popped in from Josh at Freedom Workshop. And it's
Who's in the live chat, by the way?
Yeah. What's a good large square that isn't woodpecker prices? So I'm gonna say we're talking like a 18 to 24 inch square. Like I'm gonna say something pretty big, right? Like you're using it for like cabinetry or something like that.
I want to
it's a
small one too.
You want to add in small as well?
Yeah, let's go both sides.
Okay. For small, I know there's one that my buddy Matt from MWA Woodworks always likes, the like DFN tool work or something. I think DFM tool works. They're blue, if I'm not mistaken. That they're really accurate and they're a pretty affordable price. Yeah, DFM tool works. I think it's made by somebody in our space, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He likes those a lot. I'm not sure about the price, but I know they're definitely cheaper than woodpecker. So, like, what's that one that you got your mouse on there? That 3-inch tri-square. What's that? How much is it?
45.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially if you get the accuracy. 3.5 inches by 3.75 inches.
So for everybody at home, we're looking at something that's effectively the equivalent of what woodpecker sells as their delve square. And I believe
small carpenter square is what it's called.
Okay. On DFM Toolworks, it's a small carpenter square. Theirs is like $45. Woodpecker sells their aluminum red one for, I believe, $95. And their stainless steel one is $140, I think.
Man, I'm always shocked at how much woodpecker stuff costs.
I know. But I mean, they literally make everything so like there's the Delve square. How much is it?
$65.99.
$65, yeah. So you're saving money.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Katz Moses always talks about.
Oh yeah, just check his store.
Yeah, check his store.
I bet he sells them.
I know there's like one brand that he can get like blemished ones where it's just like one of the numbers might be like slightly scuffed or like the steel isn't like perfectly polished, and you can get them for like 70% off. Like that's a great place to do it because let's be honest, all of our like squares and measuring stuff are all hacked up. Like I don't,
yeah,
like I don't care.
I've just got a drawer full of them and they're all destroyed.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? He does not have a square on his site. Am I seeing this right?
He's got a magnetic one.
He's got one here. A 5-in-1 magnetic speed square. It's about 3 inches by 3 inches. Same size. $21.77.
Great.
Is that
sold out?
Is that?
Well, yeah.
For that price, yeah. Yeah, it's got the
Is
little
that-
bottom that magnetically attaches.
Oh, that's neat. Is that is the name of the company Imperial, or is that just denoting the type of measurements?
Noting the measurements. I believe this is the KM Tools one. This is the one they make.
Oh, that's his own house brand.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Cam Tools anywhere on it though.
It does not.
But like, I think $20, $40 for a small one isn't bad. Knowing that it has
Yeah.
multiple, like I use my 3-inch one all the time.
Yeah.
Truly, I don't use like a 12-inch square very often at all.
That's more of a construction thing.
Yeah.
When you kind of get into like framing and
Right, you might throw it on a 2x6 and then hold your circular saw against it, like something like that.
yeah.
But if you're doing that, like, do you really need something that's unbelievably accurate?
No, in that case you do not.
Right.
So I think that is why it is so hard to find accurate squares past this kind of like 3 to 4 inch size.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into 12, 24, things start to go downhill quickly because no customers are demanding accuracy at that level.
Right. Because the bigger you make the square, the bigger, let's get physicsy here for a second. The bigger you make those moment arms. So your square has to become monumentally more rigid for it to stay at 90 and not deflect and warp and whatnot. And if you want that, you're going to pay good money for it. I mean,
It's like
And
you
the-
said in your latest video. If you need that tool, you know you need that tool.
right.
Right?
And the larger your project, the bigger your margins are going to be too. So
Right.
Yeah.
something you get that big, you're going to have larger margins of error.
No, Derek, that's a perfect. You said it. I couldn't have said it better myself. If you're building a king size bed,
Yeah.
does it really matter if your headboard and side rails are at a perfect 90 degree? No,
Yeah.
not at all.
You got a little bit of flex in a project like that.
You got a lot of flex in a project like that. Now, if you're trying to make like a jewelry box that has like another box inside of it that's like piston fit,
Yeah.
then yes, you're going to want it super accurate. But that's what you can get a 3-inch square for something like that. Like, okay, Josh, here's your answer. How to get a woodpecker's square without paying a lot. You're first going to start a social media profile. And then you're going to spend years and years working for free, never getting paid anything. And you're going to slowly build up a following. And then you're going to email Judy at woodpeckers.com. That's not her actual email address. That's just her name. And you're going to say, Judy, I would love to work with you. And they're going to say, we don't pay anyone. We just give out free tools and expect the world from you. Would you like to take that offer? And you're going to say, yes. This is a long game, and I want that $200 woodpecker square
I
for
wanna
years
regret this.
of work.
Do you still work with Woodpecker at all?
No.
No. Yeah. I remember that exact person, Judy, messaged me, I think on Instagram, and said something like that. She was like, okay, like what's your expectation or something? And I just sent my normal rates. She says, cool. We just do free tools and that's it. Maybe something in the future we'll think about working with you. I was like, not interested.
Right. Right. I mean, like, and for everybody listening, like, this isn't Zach or myself being arrogant. It's
A little bit.
no, but like, let's be honest.
No, I get it.
Somebody's like, I'm gonna send you, what was that Delve square? It was like $65 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you this, and I want you to go make like a video. Okay, well, like, I mean, that video's gonna take, I don't know. This is very aggressive. Takes me an hour to come up with the concept, an hour to film, an hour to edit, and that's like, I know, Zach, I see your face. You're like, oh, wow, that's fast, right? I'm saying you just bang this thing out, right? So we're gonna say 3 hours. Plus, you're gonna have probably one edit or so, emails back and forth. So let's say all in, you're at 5 hours. If you value your time at a conservative amount, let's say
But even
$30 an hour.
Let's say minimum wage.
Okay, $15 an hour
Yeah,
at 5 hours. What? That's
75 bucks.
75 bucks. You're better off just buying the damn tool. Like, and I think this is what a lot of people don't get sometimes.
I've even had the situation where like I have relationships with brands like DeWalt and Craftsman, where they'll send me stuff kind of without any expectation. It'll just be kind of you work it in where you can work it in. If it appears in a video, great, they're happy. If it doesn't, they're not. And even then, a lot of the time, I just don't like having that expectation that something's coming in the future. I have bought recently DeWalt and Craftsman tools with my own money, just simply because I didn't want to have any expectation or, I don't know, obligation in the future.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure you're like me, where like, say you're working on a YouTube video and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have like a 60-second mid-roll ad, which is like this video was sponsored by Squarespace in the middle of the video, whatever. You're focused on finishing the project, and then you're like, ooh, and then I have another obligation of doing this ad in the middle of the video. But now if you're like agreeing to DeWalt to also show this video, so now you're going to add that on top and go, oh, I also have to make sure that I use this DeWalt tool. Oh, I also have to make sure that I use the 3M sandpaper. Oh, I also have to make sure that I use this woodpecker square. It becomes exhausting to try to do all of those at once. Like, you can't keep up with that.
And let's be real, at a certain point, that middle ad is enough to finance buying a couple tools for the project.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I'll just buy them with my own pocket, and then I don't have to worry about all that other headache, and I can just focus on the project and that one middle ad.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's the reality. Like, honestly, right now, other than a few brands who are just like, we're happy to support you, like, whatever you want, here you go, no questions asked. I would rather just buy the stuff now.
Yeah.
It's
But
less of a
that's,
headache.
that's kind of a level of comfortability or whatever that you achieve. We've both been in the position where we were psyched to get that $75 square.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm glad you brought that up, Zach. It's not, we're not undermining people who are out there hustling, trying to get those free tools and stuff. That's awesome.
And legitimately, there was a point in my career as a content creator where I was strapped for cash, where I was like, I really want this tool for this project. It would make the project a lot faster and easier if I had it, but I can't afford that tool as well as all the materials to do this thing.
You go broke. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, it did in certain scenarios, like it did really help jumpstart my channel, or, it allowed me to do new things with my channel and create things that I wouldn't normally be able to create. So there's a trade-off to be had there. There are some situations where it does make sense, but
Right.
yeah.
So would you recommend so then you're saying you would recommend the DFM for a slightly cheaper alternative on either a large or a small square?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think, okay, so that's the 6-inch DFM that you have pulled up there.
Yeah.
And how much was the woodpecker? That's okay.
6-inch woodpecker is $84, and a 6-inch Carpenter on DFM is $59.
So it's like 2/3 of the price. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good bargain there.
And if you go on to the DFM, they have where'd it go?
A Dowling jig?
Scratch. They got I didn't look that. They have a dent and scratch kit. You can get 2 of the squares for $89 or 3
okay.
rather.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad. I mean, honestly, Josh, if I still had it, I'd give you my aluminum Delve square, but I already gave that to somebody else.
Oh, well, don't tease him like that.
Sure you can. It's all about that. Everybody enjoys getting teased. Come on, Zach. I remember you when we were in that hotel together. You enjoy a good tease.
Well, yeah. Let's not tell the listeners about that just yet. We got to save that for the after
take
show.
a heart. You know who else enjoys getting teased?
Our new patrons.
Our new patron.
New patron. Sorry.
We've got a new patron that's joining us in the fight against the Green Suitors podcast, the worst podcast available on Apple and Spotify. So new this week is our rigid fan, Joel Duquette. Douche. I don't know. It said he paid in Canadian money.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Zach, you might be able to pronounce this better than I can. Doucet.
I would say Duque.
Duque?
Yeah. Or yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
The problem with Canada is that we have every type of nationality or, like heritage here.
Yeah.
So like you're like, oh, Canadian, like maybe I should say it the French way. It's like it could be.
Well,
You could be. I don't know. There's no way to be sure with Canadians.
you can always send us in
say.
you can always send us in an audio question and correct us if we got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think people sign up to get their names butchered.
And try again next week.
Try again next week. But Joel's joining us as a patron to help support the show because we don't want to hit you with obnoxious ads or, just be annoying like the Green Suitors podcast. And, we also want to give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons, our caulkers. We got Josh at Freedom Workshop who upgraded last week.
Hell yeah, Josh.
Yeah. Brooke Appler at Grizzly Bear Woodworks, which, by the way, I don't remember what other podcasts I was listening to, but Brooke Appler is a patron of theirs as well. So he's supporting a lot of people in the woodworking sphere.
Okay.
Over at the Jason and Bourbon Moss. What's his name? What's their podcast called again?
Shop Sounds.
Shop
right?
Sounds. That's right.
Shop
Sounds.
Sounds. Shop Sounds.
That was one of the potential names for this podcast that we've rejected, right?
Yeah. So we got Brooke Appler, Grizzly Bear Woodworks, Dadu, Luke Schmidt, Corey Duvall, which, by the way, Corey, still haven't done anything about that scuba gear that you recommended that I go check out. Been busy. Jason Price, Priceless Pro Design, Scott Eastman, EC's Woodshop, and of course, the Power Cocker, formerly known as Wes. Which we got to set up our one-on-one chat with him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we do have to set up the one-on-one chat with him.
Wes, look out for an email. We'll send you an email here soon. What was I going to say? Oh, Zach, why do people want to sign up for Patreon?
Because you unlock the after show, which I think is the best benefit that we can give you, because we basically do a whole second podcast after this first one. Although we've been threatening not to do it unless we get some listener questions.
Yeah.
Might be a short one this week, but we always say that, and then it ends up just being an hour-long thing. So
Ends up being longer than it was the previous week.
Yeah. You also get some bonus merch. You get access to the Discord where we got a bunch of different chats going, and you join us in the fight against the Green Suitors.
Yeah.
It was always a good thing.
Yeah, always a good thing.
I'm sure there's some stuff I'm forgetting too.
And let's just be honest. We don't run ads because they're annoying. We don't have those random, get tested for erectile dysfunction every, 7 minutes during the podcast. Nobody wants to hear that. That's annoying.
Yeah.
That's the only way we make money on this thing, and making a podcast isn't free. So if you enjoy the show, that's a great way to support. But if not, at least just send the podcast to somebody and, tell them about it. Help us grow this thing so we can get more guests on the show.
I was listening, speaking of annoying ads and podcasts, I was listening to a Spotify podcast today, and while they were talking, there was a conversation going on, the ad just started playing. But for some reason, it didn't pause the main podcast, so they just layered both on top of each other.
I've seen
it. It was horrible. It was horrible.
In all four, to give you guys an idea, every 1,000 listens that you get on a podcast, they pay you $11 or something?
I thought it was $8. $8 was the number I had in my head.
It's whatever it is, it's awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's so if we get about 1,000 or so downloads on each episode, that means we're going to annoy the piss out of 1,000 people for us to get $8. No thanks. It's not worth it. So we're doing that for you guys. But anyway, yeah. If you want to support the show, great. If not, that's fine. Go listen to the Green Suitors podcast.
Should we tackle Jude's question?
Yeah. What do we got?
I think we talked about this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, was it last week that we talked about this?
Or the week before? We touched on it a little bit. But
We've touched on it. But what kind of factors did you consider when choosing a business/channel name?
Well, the first thing for me, we can go back and forth. The first thing for me is picking something that doesn't box me into a corner. Like, let's say I did
Yeah, that was a big one.
Eric's pallet wood cutting boards.
Yes.
Horrible channel name.
Yes.
And
You ever
why?
see?
Because you can only build pallet wood cutting boards by Eric. Like, no one else can join the channel. You can't build furniture. You can't make stuff out of walnut. Like,
Yes.
don't box yourself in with your name.
Yes. Have you ever seen one of these channels where they started with some name, like you're saying, and then their channel eventually grew, and they just abandoned the original premise? So it'll be Eric's pallet wood coffee tables, and then he's doing electronics
videos.
projects in all his videos.
Car reviews.
Yeah. I have seen that a couple of times. I kind of respect that move, honestly, where people are like, screw it, I'm pivoting and I'm not changing my name.
But, like, that's got to be confusing because
Oh, yeah.
if I'm searching something on YouTube, which I rarely do, I don't know, apple pie recipes. I'm gonna type that into YouTube. I'm also gonna look at the title. I'm gonna look at how many views this thing has, how old the video is, and I'm gonna look at the channel name. If it's like Debbie's Desserts, I'm gonna be like, that's gonna be a good channel. Now, if it's like, Clark's Roadshow, I'm gonna be like, that's probably not where I want to get an apple pie recipe from. So, like, honestly, think about that.
Yeah.
How long would we need to talk about apple pie recipes before this episode would come up near the top of those results?
We won't ever know the answer to that unless we do some experiments to find out. So let's just say apple pie for the next 10 minutes.
Well, didn't we try to fit in cream pie? And didn't we have an episode that was something about cream pies?
I think probably. Why don't we make the title of this episode the one where they talk about apple pies, and then we'll see if they come up in the YouTube search results for apple pies.
Not the one where they get cream pied?
That was what the title was.
Didn't we have an episode with?
Yeah.
One where they talk.
I think was it because the food of the day was cream pies? I think that's why.
It might have been like oatmeal cream pies or something.
Something like that.
I don't know why people laugh at that joke. I don't get it.
I think another important thing to think about when you're naming your business/channel is uniqueness. Like, are people going to be confused? Are they going to search? If you make your company Air Canada Woodworks and people punch in Air Canada into Google, yeah, definitely don't fly Air Canada. But if people punch in Air Canada looking for their favorite woodworking channel and a bunch of plane pictures start popping up, or a bunch of nasty customer reviews pop up, they're gonna be like, what the hell?
Right.
Like,
or spell it differently.
That's you always see this with apps, right?
Yeah.
They will come up with some unique spin on trying to think of an
Instead
example.
of like vlogger, it's like BLGR.
Yes, thank you, because I was going to say Grinder.
Hey, and we all use the app. Like,
exactly.
We don't try to hide it.
Yeah.
That could be a good episode title, the one where they use Grinder.
Like a little...
make an apple pie.
A little tweak on conventional spelling is like all it'll take. Replace an I with a Y or something like that, and all of a sudden you're the only Google search result when people search that thing.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So I'll give you an example that is good and bad of that. A band that I like, their name is Brand New. Do you know how awful that is to Google that?
Yes.
Isn't it the Brand New?
No.
Not just brand new?
Just Brand New. But then another example is my buddy's got a band called Camp, but they spell it CAAMP.
So there you go. no problem.
Right, but like you see it and you go camp. Like
Yeah.
you know how to say it, but like if you type that into Google, the only thing that's going to come up is his band.
Is his band? Yeah. It's like the music artist The Weeknd. He doesn't have the E in the end, right? It's just Weeknd.
Right.
And you see it and you read it, The Weeknd, but he's the only search result that you get when you punch in his name.
Do you think both of those people hired like SEO specialists when they came
I was wondering about that. My
no, I'm being dead serious. I'm not being funny.
I know. Well, my older brother-in-law actually asked me once. He was like, "Why does he not have the E in the name The Weeknd?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a good question." I was like, "Must be an SEO thing."
Yeah.
That was my first impulse. So I don't know. Maybe he's just a sharp guy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Love
Any
it.
other things you can think of? Any other names?
Simple, memorable.
I think you need to be. You got to walk that line between being to the point, or what you are, and vague enough that you can fill what you're gonna be.
Right.
Yeah. I think like a good YouTube title, the less words and characters you can use, the better.
Yeah, keep it to like 3-word max.
Yeah. If you're going into like Johnny's rustic Northwestern farmhouse style, it's
specific.
like too specific, too wordy, just short and sweet.
Just do what Zach did and just put his name and then builds.
Yeah.
But honestly, dude, like that's such a good channel name.
Perfect.
It encompasses
do.
a lot of stuff, and it's nice and simple. It's memorable. Yeah. I spell Zach a little bit differently than most people spell Zach.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Well, I wanted to end tonight. Wait, are we an hour in? It says 103.
Hour and 3.
Yeah, but we
started
started the
about
live stream.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got a little bit of time.
Siri's talking to me. She said, it wasn't worth it. 103-year-old vegetarian.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Siri. From October 27th, 2015.
Nice.
This now starts an episode or a segment on the show I like to call Thank You, Siri. Oh, my God. So I had something I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
In the woodworking space, and bear with me for a minute. I promise this isn't bad. There's some awesome people in the woodworking space.
Mm-hmm.
They're also, we've interacted with them. There's some turds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's people that you're just like, come on. Not cool, right? Like people that just rip people's stuff off or whatever and don't credit other people. I have a grievance to air. So you might know this fella. He's moderately large in the woodworking space. His name is Jason Bent. He's a real piece of shit.
There's the explicit.
Yeah.
That's what the people come for.
Jason Bent. I can't even say it without feeling sick. He had the audacity to try to steal Derek from our podcast. He goes, I'm going to poach Derek from Off the Cut and get him on the Green Series podcast, available on Apple and Spotify.
Episode 103.
Was it on episode 103?
Yeah. It's the last one.
What a jackass.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I sent him a strongly worded text message after that. And his response, I believe, was just laughing emojis. Let me see what he said. I said, first he was sending me thumbnails for YouTube. And I said, they all look like hell. He sent one laughing emoji back.
Look, I understand why they would want to poach Derek, but they just can't.
I know. There, you gotta charge them just an ass load of money.
Give them the F off price.
I saw you became a patron, though.
Yeah. It's reconnaissance.
We're gonna start poaching all the questions people ask them and answer them better on our show.
We go.
Oh, that would be so good. That'd be good. But
that is a funny concept.
I did want to end the show on, before we go to the after show, I wanted to end on something. I was DMing with one of our listeners, His name is David. I'm not going to give out. I always
Yeah, you don't know what people are
hesitant to give
comfortable
people's
with.
last names out.
Yeah, totally.
David, you know what I'm talking. David knows if David hears this, right? Because everybody just wants to be blasted on the internet, right? So I was talking to David on Instagram DMs. He was talking about how he enjoyed the show. He enjoyed the banter back and forth between the Green Suiters podcasts, and he was telling me that he's a 911 call center operator.
Oh, wow. Crazy
And he
job.
said that he has gotten a massive influx of callers recently saying that they're in distress and they need assistance after listening to the Green Suiters podcast.
Wow. What did they do? Did they send out poison control or?
I don't know. But I love that. Might be our first written in burn
That's
for the
funny.
Green Suiters podcast. And I like this.
Thank you, David. That brightened my night.
Yeah. Didn't we say that we were going to try to make this like a new Patreon perk?
Yeah.
At certain levels, you got to make like custom
Custom
can
Green
send in
Suiters
your
burns.
Send in your
Yeah.
burns and we'll read them aloud.
Yeah.
Oh man. And they can be graphic too. Doesn't matter.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you
Aftershow,
want.
baby.
If they're super graphic, we might just share them in the after show, but still.
Yeah. I like this. Yeah, so we're still working on revamping the Patreon perks. We want to make it exciting, add some extra stuff, and then truthfully just get more patrons than the Green Suiters. I think they're winning right now, but
Are they?
A little bit.
yeah, they've been around for longer,
Yeah, true. They're
That's what it
20
is.
episodes ahead of us, 21 episodes ahead of us.
Yeah. We'll catch up to them. But in the meantime, should we head over to the after show?
I think we should.
I got some questions I need help from you guys about. And also, here's my tease. I had a call Thursday, I think, with an internal employee at YouTube
Oh.
and got some info that I was told I'm not allowed to share, which obviously means I wrote down everything she said, and I'm going to be sharing it on the podcast.
All right.
Hey, they're not
yeah.
Patreons.
Yeah.
Right. So, it was like a disclaimer at the end. They're like, oh, you're not allowed taking videos, writing notes, or like taking screenshots of anything that we're going to share. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Fuck you. I'm going to share it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about on the after show, amongst other things. But
Well, I don't think anything I could say would be a better tease than that, so let's end this thing.
all right. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.